Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It is Angela, the Traveling Crafter, and today we're diving into something a little bit different, but super important for every one of you creative souls out there. So I hope you're going to enjoy this episode. We're going to talk about how to get over a creative slump or a funk as an artist, whether you are a paper crafter, a mixed media artist, a writer, and as I always say, everyone is an artist in their own unique way. Now, why are we doing this, and what will I be doing while we're visiting? Well, this is from all of the things that you're going to see today. Well, most of them are from the challenge that I did. And I'm sorry, this table's a little bit wobbly. It's very nice, but it's a little wobbly. So I'll try my best to stay still. But these are from our Smash a Stack challenge. So if you haven't seen that, there's a playlist with all the videos in which I took 25, I think it ended up being 27 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and I ended up with 0.00 scraps left over. I used every single piece. And I still have things to decorate. And one of the things that you said was, yeah, do some decorating, decorate some of those and see what they end up with. Well, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of talk and decorate. I won't be really doing any tutorial or anything like that because I think this is an important topic, and I believe that to be true because this has been on my list that was asked, was a request to talk about. And I get it. I mean, I, like you, also get into a creative slump once in a while. And I don't know if it's a process, but I have things that I do that help me get out of that slump. And so I want to talk a little bit more about that. The other thing I wanted to share with you has nothing to do about the topic that we're going to be discussing today, is that I found a calendar from like 2000, I think. And it was one of Marjolaine Baston's calendars. It had a lot of art kind of illustrations on it. And I cut it all apart. This is what I have left. These were the solid sides of the page. So there's just this gingham and then the butterflies on that. But I also did in advance. Oh, look at it. We got that too. I did cut out all of the baby pieces. So I'm going to pop these in. And it's, it's not a bolo book for sure. But if you ever see one of her calendars or anything by her, check it out. If you're into that kind of style, I think you might like her work. So I'm going to undo this now that I've shown you and put it in to my ephemera basket. Now, you probably noticed by now, I am in a different location. So that's probably my number one tip if you're in a creative slump, and it's just to change your environment. Sometimes it's real simple. You just need a new perspective. Maybe you just go to a different room. Maybe you go out on your porch and craft on your patio table. Maybe you take a walk to the beach if you're that lucky that you have that opportunity. Whatever it is, just changing that environment, and I've said this before, but I will say it again, can really help you have a fresh perspective, a new lease on life. Ideas start to come when you're, for example, I'm on the road again, and having a limited supply of things really helps me in stretching my creativity, because I only have so many things in my arsenal at hand. However, my husband told me yesterday, you need to really think about this when you start packing because that bag weighed 90 pounds. And I will have to say, on this trip, I did pack a little bit more than I probably normally would. And I'm going to tell you why when I talk about changing the environment and why it's so important. just to give you a fresh look at it. It might even be going up and sitting on your sofa. I mean, really. But as you know, if you've been following me, my baby girl just graduated. We had a big old party. I still, at the time of me filming this, I still owe you guys photos from the party. But I thought when I was going to go on this trip that I wasn't going to go do, I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I'll get sick of this by Thursday because I'm here all week and today's Monday. But I wasn't going to go do thrifting, and I have plenty of things for sales for several weeks. And so I was just going to craft and just do a reset. And clearly one of those things is changing my environment. I'm getting out a piece of, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll get one of these. Let's see one that's open. Okay. I'm getting, oh, crud chunks. Well, I'm making a mess is what I'm doing. All right, that's okay. I have some file folders in here, and I feel like I need to put something underneath me so that when I start gluing, I won't be, I don't want to get anything on this table. Hang on. I wasn't prepared. I probably will have to be editing this video because I'm not sure how long it's going to go. I have no plan on what I'm going to be creating, so there's that. So we'll just see what happens. But I do really think that it just kind of fuels your soul, if you will, to just find a different spot, a different perspective. And I do that a lot, and I can tell you right now, oh gosh, that is really wobbly. Gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going to move this up a little bit. There we go. Come on. I probably should have checked this thing before I got to crafting. I'll have to show you to see if I needed to add a little shimmer something on there. Okay, now we're better. You might not be once I start gluing stuff down. So pretty simple. Ooh, that's juicy. Change your environment. Now, the other thing that I would tell you, number 2 tip, is try something new. One thing that I think, and it kind of goes hand in hand with changing your environment, when I travel, what I find is I probably will work with mediums, just different things that I might not have worked with if I were at home in my own craft space, because I have so many options at home, right? So, you know, maybe it's entirely different. For example, if you're a painter, maybe try writing. If you are someone who does paper crafting, try sketching. We did doodling the other day. There's plenty of things that you can do that's just totally out there and different. And I would encourage you guys to just try something new. Maybe it's going through my playlist and finding something that was totally obscure that you wouldn't have thought of trying before. Maybe it's journal jewelry. Maybe it's, I mean, it could be anything. Just something different. Maybe it's out of your comfort zone. Let it be okay. That's a good thing to feed your soul and to get out of that creative slump. And these things are not, really rocket science. They're just things that they work for me. And I hope that I can share that, and maybe some of those things will work for you too. The next one is, just taking a break. How many times do we not do that? We just keep on moving. And especially if you are a creator of social media content, whether it's YouTube or otherwise, you sometimes kind of feel like you have to be always doing something. I know, at least I do. And just walking away sometimes, and giving yourself permission to do that, even if it's just, you know, taking the dog for a walk, or you're just yourself for a walk, or organizing something in another room, or, you know, maybe it's a little housework, or maybe it's just simply sitting on the sofa and watching a show that you enjoy. I mean, anything. Just take a break, and you know, don't worry about everything else that is going on. And I think I say that, and I'm wondering if the reason that I was like, you know, I really need to do a video on this, is because when I was prepping for the grad party, I had to say, okay, everything else has just got to wait. This is my priority. My kid is my priority. It still is something that I love to do. I love to host parties. I love to create. I did all of the flowers for it, and, you know, just the decorations, and it was fun to do with Demi, and she had great ideas. And so I was still doing something I loved, but I'd focused 0% on my content, my channel, what things were on my to-do list that needed to be accomplished. I even took a break from my live sales, which, you know, I do sometimes 4 a month. I do one every week except for the first week of the month. And I knew that I wasn't going to be good to anybody if I tried to wear, you know, if I was worn thin and I was trying to do everything for every task and every project that I had. And it made no sense. So I had to make the decision to skip not just my first sale which was the first week of the month, which I normally do, but I had to skip another one. And trust me when I tell you that decision wasn't necessarily very easy for me to make, but I knew it was not only necessary for the things that I needed to get done, but it was extremely necessary for my mental health. And it all worked out well. And I still had fun. I didn't think about, look, I even have Elmer's today. I'm telling you, see, you got to work with what you have. I did throw in after the last trip. This isn't working so hot, though. I did throw in some other good glue. Come on. So yes, number 3, take a break. Take a break. And, for you guys, I would be interested to hear, like, what are your biggest challenges? Because this was a request from quite some time ago about asking me about what I do when I'm in a creative slump. And so I'm curious to see what, for you guys, do you get in creative slumps? If you do, what do you do to get out of them? If anything, maybe you just keep on keeping on. Well, it doesn't really look good. This one is going to be a little bit persnickety because I don't have a lot of stuff in here that will work. By the way, like I said, I'm in an Airbnb, so this is my bowl of, it's a cereal bowl of my ephemera, and then I couldn't find anything to I like to flip through things, so this is my mixing bowl of ephemera that we're decorating. So 1 cereal bowl full of ephemera, 1 mixing bowl full of pieces to decorate equals the recipe for fun art, right? Okay, this is going to be a little bit, this is so tiny. I just don't have anything really. You know what? Stop overthinking it. Just move on. Pick something different. Let's do this one. This will be fun. All right, this, I feel like we could put something on it. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm very curious because all of you will have excellent ideas as well. And I'm only sharing, 5 of mine, and we're just going to talk about them. I mean, it won't take me very long to get through the last 2, but I will say there's many more ways that you can do this. This is just what works best for me. I need to find my, ruh-roh, George. What I'm looking for is my paper punch. And you know I had one in here before. What did I do with it? Maybe it's in here. Let me look at one more spot. Please be in here. We got staplers. We got a glue gun. I keep everything in one spot, so I don't know. I'll find it later. Okay, I guess I'll just cut these out. Number 4, and this is probably one of my favorite tips, and if anything fuels my creative soul more than this, I'm not sure what it is. But it is connecting with other artists. And that can be as simple as just, scrolling through TikTok and looking at different artists and what they're doing. It could be watching a YouTube video. It could be, commenting on a reel or a video. Or it could be that you have a really good group of creative friends, and it's simply texting them, messaging them, writing them, sending some happy mail. But I will tell you that being able to kind of just be open and say, man, I am really in a funk right now. And I don't mean in a funk like, horrible funk, but I'm just talking a creative funk. You wish, you have things you want to work on. Nothing's really driving your bus. Nothing really feels right. What would you do? And ask for help. And here's what I'm going to tell you right now. And this is your permission. And please don't ever hesitate. But if you don't know, and if you're new to the channel and you have not been here for long, please know that one thing I truly believe in and encourage you to do is to reach out to me. If you get nothing else from being here on my channel, it is that I care immensely about this community, about each and every one of you. And if you need to just talk, and it has nothing to do with crafting, and you want to send me an email or whatever that might be, do it. Do not hesitate to do that. I've said this many, many times, probably my mantra. My kids are like, yeah, Mom, we know. You just don't know what battle people are going through, and you certainly can't find that out very easily from a comment, or a quick little text. Sometimes it takes some explanation. And for those, there are friends out there that we talk often. And when I say friends, I'm talking about each and every one of you who are my subscribers. My gosh, this stuff is gooey. Just a quick email, if you will. Just a, hey, how are you doing? Checking in on each other. And it can make the difference. And not just to, I hope you know that difference doesn't just, clearly it's for our well-being and mental health too, but it really does make my day and helps me to feel even more connected. Because, I'll tell you, if you work in social media, if you are an influencer or a content creator, whatever it is that you're doing, oftentimes it's very isolating. I can spend days. I mean, if it weren't for my kids and my husband, many days where I wouldn't have to, if I didn't want to, talk to anybody. That's probably not a healthy choice. And sometimes, not all of my friends are producing content or on social media. So, they're busy during the day. So having that connection with all of you is something that means the world to me. Something just fell off of the back of my chair. And I hope that and you can tell how sincere I really truly am about, if you need a friend, if you need someone to talk to, you're not alone. I am here. And I would encourage you, I don't know, I'm not liking that there, but I want it on there. There we go. Just to reach out. You have all of my information, and sometimes you just got to have that friend, that person. Okay, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. This looks like it leaked on there. I have that song in my head from Toy Story. You got a friend in me. But in all seriousness, I mean it. And like I said, this is going to be an interesting week here, because I kind of want this to be like my own little retreat this week. He's actually works pretty long hours, from 7 until 5 or 5:30. We only brought his vehicle, and it's 20 minutes to the office that he's working at. So unless I get up at the crack-a-lack of dawn with him, which I'm always up that early anyway, I'm without a car. So we'll see how I do when Wednesday rolls around. But for the time being, I'm trying to just embrace this and kind of have it be my reset. Connect with folks. One thing I'm doing, where I'm going to start doing, my best friend spent pretty much the entire day with our family for Demi's graduation. I'm leaving that one blank for now. It's stumping me, and I can't figure out what I want on it. And we've been talking. She's a big bike rider, and we've been talking for a long time about riding together, but we haven't done it yet. And so now that my bike is all tricked out, minus Zenny's basket, we're going to start doing that. And so I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you just need that break. And she doesn't have an appreciation. Well, she has an appreciation for the arts, but she's not someone who enjoys creating. She is a great athlete. She's got many other hobbies. It's what makes us great friends, is that we're different, and we appreciate those. And sometimes it's nice to be able to just have conversations with someone who is not like-minded in your hobbies or your work or whatever that is. And it gives you a really nice perspective and a different way of kind of looking at things. And it just means a lot for you to have those folks. And I don't want any of you to ever say that, well, I don't have somebody like that, because I promise you I will be here for you. Ooh, my goodness. I don't know why this is so, it hasn't been sitting in my car or anything like that. I'd also be curious too, like, are there online communities that you enjoy being a part of? If you're not aware, one of the easiest and kind of fun ways for you to connect with other artists and the community of artists is through the Makers Market. The link is in the description. It is, it's kind of twofold. It's an online community for artists, and it's also a place for us to support one another, sell our wares, whether it's, crochet or junk journals or art supplies or things that are found that were handmade, just all of that. And so it's fun to be able to, you can go on and post pictures of what you're working on, ask for advice if you're, stumped on how to do something or need some insight, or if you just want somebody to visit with for a little while. There's a lot of folks on there, and they're all wonderful. And they too really care about one another and everyone in this community. So I'm going to try this. So hop on over there if you don't feel like you have another option as far as online communities. And, here's one that I thought was really good. I'm going to tell you about this glue in a second, which I know zero things about. When I was traveling to Cedar Rapids, there was a library, one of the first weeks. This is called Glue. Gloo. It's got, there's some Chinese writing, so I can't tell you any more than the fact that it's called Glue. No idea where I got it from. Maybe Temu, and I just wanted to see what it did. I don't know. But it works so good so far. What was I just saying? Oh, and I looked online. There was a library right next to us, and they had a Wednesday night craft night. Well, it was so sweet because on my second visit or so, I went to oh my gosh, the Create Exchange, which is that cool all arts and crafts kind of supply, secondhand supplies. And there was a lady in there, and she was saying, not to me, but just to the lady that owned it. She was talking about these online communities that not online communities, in-person community. And one of them was that library. And she's like, yeah, we just bring whatever we're working on. And then they have another one one other day. And she was like, I tell everybody about this place. And, it was cool to hear somebody. She was a total stranger. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I almost went to that. And she said, well, I kind of explained my situation and traveling with Dave. I made that into a pocket too. We'll see what happens with it. And she's like, will you come anytime? We would love to have you. And it's so cool and refreshing. I probably should have some things on this, but I'm not going to do that now. Maybe when I put it into a journal, I'll think about it. But what's this? That doesn't need much. Just to be so inviting, like everybody's welcome, and that's really cool. And look around in your communities. There's probably things like that, and if there's not, and you enjoy coordinating things like that or planning events, who's stopping you from doing it? Nobody. Absolutely. I don't know how long we've been going. I haven't gotten much done. Let's see. Oh, we're not doing too bad. Because we still have enough time for my last one. And then I'm going to go searching for my hello. Hole punch. Oh, that makes him so irritated that I can't find it. But the last one is And I don't know. They're all important to me. So I don't know that I can put a value on which one is any more important than the last. But probably the one you need to maybe think most about is embracing imperfection. And I can tell you from experience, and I've learned a long time, good Lord, see, speaking of which, I learned a long time ago that you need to embrace the perfections of whatever it is you're working on, because sometimes those imperfections can be brilliant. They can end up being some of the best work that you have ever produced. And when there's imperfections and spending time, I don't know if the word worry is what I want to say, but emphasizing the perfections and getting frustrated that there are perfections in your work there's nothing more debilitating than that, because it shoots down your confidence. And, I said it at the beginning, I'll say it again. Every single one of us is an artist in some way, shape, or form. Finding what that is and admitting it is, may take some time. I don't like that very well. Doesn't matter. I can always fix it later. But I do think that it's more about enjoying the process and not getting wrapped up in, oh, it's not perfect, or comparing yourself to somebody else and their work. That's just a creative buzzkill immediately. Yes, there's always somebody that does something different, that does something better than you, or that comes up with an idea. Instead of comparing and getting stopped in your own head by not wanting to create because, oh, it's not good enough, think about this. They're humans. I mean, every single one of us, no matter who we are, we've messed things up royally. I mean, there's been some if you've not watched my my video playlist of the 100-day challenge that I did with things found around the house, if you want to feel better about yourself as an artist, go watch that. Because there were some days, friends, that, man, I was like, well, I don't know. I haven't really thought this through, or I thought it through, and it ended up being a total debacle. I was trying something new. I was working on things that I had never worked on. And some of them were a real, hot mess. But I'm human, and I didn't let that stop me. And in the end, minus the exception of one thing that I will never work on again, which was sugar. Yep, that was on my list. That was a whole messy mess. All the rest turned out just fine. There was no reason to stress out about it. So yeah, you just have to embrace the imperfections of yourself and your work. And you know what? Nobody is going to be judging you except yourself. And you are your own harshest critic. And you yourself can stop whether you know it or not. I do not like this. Can be your own worst enemy and stop yourself in your creativity. And that's not going to help you get out of a creative slump at all. So just roll with it. And here's what I do. I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong. There's no real right or wrong answers for any of this. But if I see something and I'm like, oh, this is frustrating me, I'm messing it up, I will just stick it aside and come back to it at some other point. And maybe I won't. There are times that I put something aside for a very long time. And then I find it, you know, months later and I go, well, this still sucks as much as I thought the first time. And I just don't use it, right? That would be great if it wasn't so long. Do I have a short? These are all the same length because they came from the same. I'm going to put that on there. I can cut it off. You know, it's paper in this case, or it might be paint or whatever it is. You know, unless you're working with very high-end materials that you can't I mean, it doesn't matter. Even then, I'm sure artists throw things away all the time. But usually you can find some way to fix it. I'm thinking like stained glass or something. I have a friend who's a stained glass artist. And I bet you if she screws something up, she's not throwing it out. She'll find a way to use it some other way. See, I need to get a paper towel when I do my next video. And see how that goes. I think I'm going to keep working on these for a while, and I do have another topic, so you have to stay tuned for that. But I hope for the couple of folks that asked this question to me, I hope that that helped. I hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, as in closing, just remember, every single time that you're working on something that, two things. Every one of you you are an artist in your own right. The rules in art there are no rules. I mean, if there were rules in art, we wouldn't have the Mona Lisa. We wouldn't have, you know, Calder's painting and sculptures. And there's just, the list goes on. Pick an artist, right? The rules really are, there are no rules. And so it's not about being perfect. It's what you're doing is about expressing you, yourself through your art and enjoying the process. It should not be work. Whether millions of people are going to look at your art or just you know, it has value and meaning. And, you know, think about things if you've ever given them as gifts. You might look at something and go, oh, that wasn't my best work. And somebody else goes, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Remember that. I appreciate you for joining me today. I will be back with another topic, and I'll probably just be doing chats and crafting and sitting here working on the same thing that I've been working on. But in the meantime, I hope those tips help. If it helps break the cycle when you're running into some of those creative slumps that you might be facing. The video is here if you need to watch it 6 months from now as a refresher. I appreciate each and every one of you very much. Make sure that you keep creating and exploring. And as I always say, remember to take time to just be, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.